We're here at Survivor Series WarGames, where we kick things off with the Women's Survivor Series match containing superstars like Kairi Sane, Asuka, Nia Jax, Lash Legend, Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, and AJ Lee. The match kicks off and all women are battling it out in the ring. They don't care about the fact that there are two rings. They just want to fight. At one point in the match, Asuka puts Io Sky on the table and yells at Kairi to climb up the cage, which he does so. But when she jumps off, Io gets saved, and it's by none other than Rhea Ripley, who will go on to take Asuka out with the Riptide. Unlike Kairi on the other side of the ring, Alexa Bliss lands a splash through the table, but would then get taken out by Lash Legend's double-handed chokeslam. Lash then immediately gets met by a spear from Flair. There's been so much chaos amongst all the women in this match that it is now all up to AJ Lee and Becky to get the win for their team, as AJ Lee has Becky locked up in the Black Widow, where Lynch would eventually tap out. What a way to kick off Survivor Series San Diego, and what better way to follow up that WarGames match with San Diego's own Dirty Dominic Mysterio taking on the man who took the Intercontinental Championship from him, John Cena, in which is his last WWE PLE match. John Cena pulls out moves we wouldn't normally see him do at this age, like a middle turnbuckle short tackle and even a springboard stunner. Dominic rolls out of the ring as Cena has had a lot of offense in this match, as he baits him with a forearm. Dom would then follow that forearm up with a springboard dropkick. He would then disrespect the GOAT, swiping his feet on the mat. He then continues disrespecting him with some boots in the corner as his hometown began booing him. Dom tries to get his hometown to start cheering him by landing a suicide dive, but it just makes the booing even louder. Dom has Cena in the ring and takes him out with a Michinoku driver. 1, 2, no. Cena kicks out. Dom then goes up to the top turnbuckle for a frog splash, where Cena will move and he would take Dom out with an attitude adjustment, one of the last AAs you are going to see from Cena. It's not enough. Dom kicks out. Cena then lands a diving fire knuckle shuffle and then reaches for another AA, but Dom counters with a strike to Cena's ribs and follows it up with a swinging neckbreaker as he goes up to the top turnbuckle, and this time around Cena does not move. 1, 2, no. Cena kicks out at the last possible second, as Dom is now furious as he sends him to the outside of the ring and clears off the announcer's table. He would then go up to the top turnbuckle and just barely land a splash through Cena through the table, and both men are down as the ref is counting. We then see a masked woman who picks Dom up and sends him into the ring, where Dom is getting checked by the referee. As the referee is distracted and Cena is getting up, she takes Cena out with a chair shot right to his head and sends him back into the ring. I think we all know who this masked woman is. Dom takes Cena for a ride with a 619 and follows it up with a splash while the masked woman watches on. The masked woman is revealed to be Liv Morgan. Dom not only wins back his Intercontinental Championship, he also wins back his girl, Liv Morgan. Next up is the Women's World Heavyweight Championship match between the challenger Nikki Bella, who had a change of attitude, and the world champion Stephanie Valkyrie. Nikki is a new person in the ring, a more methodical woman, going slow and just wearing down Stephanie in the match. She would also get a close fall as he connects a powerbomb, so she knows that she's getting closer and closer to capturing the Women's World Championship. She needs to increase the risk, so she goes for a superplex that Stephanie Valkyrie counters and sends her back on the mat, and then drops a top rope leg drop, where she would only get a quick 1 count. But she would immediately follow it up with a float over DDT, and then her signature maneuver, the Devil's Kiss. Stephanie Valkyrie then picks up Bella and takes her out with Eat Defeat, where Stephanie Valkyrie would get a near fall. Valkyrie calls Nikki up for the SVD, but Bella catches the boot and counters it with some sort of face plant. And now Nikki Bella will be the one to get a near fall of Stephanie Valkyrie. Bella lifts Valkyrie up with a rack attack 2.0, but Valkyrie fights out of it with a series of elbows and then does some combos until she gets Bella onto the ropes. Stephanie Valkyrie is getting fired up as she's using the ropes to her advantage, so that this time around she can connect the SVD. One, two, three. Stephanie Valkyrie retains her Women's World Championship. Let's just say she doesn't get to celebrate that long. It's Brie Bella. She's back and is hitting continuous steel chair shots to Valkyrie as Nikki watches on. She then face plants her onto the steel chair, and the Bella twins are back and are taunting on Valkyrie. Brie hits her with a forearm, and Nikki Bella lands the rack attack 2.0. The Bella twins are back. But now it's time for the main event, the most stacked WarGames match of all time, featuring superstars like Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Bronson Reed, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, and Brock Lesnar. The people starting off the WarGames match is the World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk and the unpredictable badass Braun Breaker, who is entering his first ever WarGames match. Breaker would immediately get on the offensive, using the cage to his advantage, and uses his athletics to connect a standing moonsault. But when he goes to do the middle turnbuckle for a diving shoulder tackle, Punk moves and dives off the rope just to get pulled right back down by Breaker, who then uses his strength to put Punk down, and it's only going to get worse for Punk as Bronson Reed comes down, and he brings a trash can as Breaker is still laying down on Punk. Reed uses the can to drop a sit-out powerbomb on, and then Breaker launches a rib-breaking spear. Punk could get some help though, because Jimmy Uso is the next entry for Cody's team. He enters the ring and takes Breaker out with a combo attack. And he then helps Punk out with the Reed, where they do a super kick, roundhouse kick combination. As Punk and Jimmy continue on their offense, it's Logan Paul's turn to get inside the cage. Before he does, he goes to grab a table. As you know, Logan Paul is all about the viral moments. Logan enters his first ever WarGames and does a double team maneuver with Bronson Reed on Jimmy Uso, as he have the 3-on-2 numbers gained in this match, but not for long though, because Jey Uso is the next entry in this match and grabs a steel chair and another weapon that has 4 letters and 1 word on it: stop. He uses that steel chair to help out his brother Jimmy with continuous steel chair shots to both Bronson and Logan. And as Jey Uso is getting the crowd hyped with his signature yeet punches onto Logan Paul, we see Drew McIntyre get let out of his cell, where he gets into the cage, grabbing the stop sign that Jey Uso put inside earlier and uses it to take out a man who he still hates with it, CM Punk. The Usos are wearing down the Auxilla with a double team chops on him, and are now both on the top turnbuckle. Sorry, not the turnbuckle, the top of the WarGames structure. Jimmy connects a splash, but Jay couldn't because Reed was getting back onto his feet. Reed climbs up to the cage and sends Jey Uso flying back down onto the mat and follows it up with a diving elbow drop. Drew then comes around to take out Jimmy with a stop sign and an elbow drop to Jey Uso. Cody wants to enter the match so bad so he can put his hands on McIntyre, but as referee ready to open the cage door, Roman exits out and Cody has to wait. In the ring, Breakker takes Punk out with a spear, but from out of nowhere is Roman Reigns with a spear of his own onto Braun Breakker. Roman is fired up, and on the other side of the ring, McIntyre is ready with his stop sign, and when he attempts to throw it, Roman launches a spear and puts the ones to the sky. Both the team captains, Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar, are yet to enter the WarGames structure, but Brock won't have to wait for long, because he is up next. But before that, CM Punk is laying it out onto Braun Breakker with a knee and then launching him on the trash can, and then a go to sleep. Now it's time for Brock Lesnar to enter the WarGames structure. As soon as he enters it, he takes CM Punk out with a German suplex and an F5. He then spots Roman Reigns on the other side of the ring, laying on the ropes, and he goes to that ring so he can start making him German suplexes, but Reigns counters with an elbow. He then launches Lesnar off the ropes and takes him out with a Superman punch. He then backs up into the corner, calling him up for a spear, which connects. He then goes for the corner for yet another spear, but Punk is in the way. He wants to get back at Lesnar for what he did to him earlier with an F5. Reigns stops Punk with a GTS. Punk then gets sent to the table, and he gets taken out by a spear from Breakker. Jey Uso's from behind a Breakker going for a super kick, but he inadvertently hits Roman Reigns. Jey Uso gets taken out by brass knuckles from Logan Paul. Logan Paul now has Roman Reigns set up on the table, and there's nobody now. There's no CM Punk to save Reigns from this, and Logan Paul splashes him through the table. And now it's finally time for the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes to enter the WarGames, but from out of nowhere he gets cuttered, and there's only one man that does a cutter from out of nowhere, and it's not other than Randy Orton. He sends Cody into the ring as the WarGames match officially begins, and it might end very soon because McIntyre realizes what just happened, so he goes to the ring where Cody is at and goes for the Claymore kick, but Cody just barely moves out of harm's way and takes McIntyre out with a crossroads. Rhodes could have pinned him, but he wants to get back at Orton, so he climbs the cage to do so, but McIntyre is already back on his feet and he meets Cody up there. Below them is Bronson Reed, who sets up a table. Not only does he do that, but he also lights it up on fire. McIntyre would then toss Rhodes off of the top of the cage through the flaming table. Bronson Reed will follow that up with a massive tsunami. McIntyre gets down, goes to the corner, ready to call Rhodes up for a devastating Claymore. That Claymore picked up the victory for him, The Vision, and Brock Lesnar, and this is all due to the shocking turn from Randy Orton onto Cody Rhodes, but it is not the biggest shocker of the night.